Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here. I'm Cheryl Sarnes, and today we'll be discussing climate resilience in the Pocono Mountains. Our focus is on how climate change is impacting our region, particularly its effects on wildlife. We'll explore the role of a local wildlife rehabilitation center, how they are responding to these challenges, and how we as a community can mitigate and adapt to these changes. We'll be discussing introduction of climate change, local contributions, local climate changes, the environment, impacts of social mitigation and adaptation, and the summary and references. Introduction to the issues. What is climate change and what causes climate change? Climate is the long-term pattern of weather conditions in a region, including temperature, precipitation, and seasonal changes. While natural processes like volcanic eruptions and solar activity can influence climate, human activities have become a dominant driver of recent changes. This image from NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center shows the concept of albedo, or how Earth's surface reflects the sunlight. Changes in land use, such as deforestation, urbanization, lower albedo, trapping more heat, and contributing to warming. I'll show you more about energy balance and feedback loops like this one and how they influence our local climate here in the Poconos next. Energy balance and the feedback loops in the Poconos. Let's explore how energy balance and feedback loops directly impact the Poconos. One example is deforestation for urban development and resorts. Deforestation in the Poconos during the 1920s and 30s due to logging and land clearing significantly reduced forest cover, impact on albedo, lowering the albedo of the region and increasing heat absorption, which disrupts the local energy balance and helps increase the local warming. An energy balance and feedback loop. The land changes not only to affect albedo, but also influences the carbon cycle, creating feedback loops that can either amplify or dampen climate effects, such as the impact of seasonal snow cover. Snow has a high albedo and reflects the sunlight, but warmer winters lead to less snow and earlier melting. This reduces reflection, increasing heat absorption, and further contributing to warming. Current efforts, modern reforestation initiative, such as planting saplings, aim to restore forest ecosystems and mitigate the effects of past deforestation. The relevance to the Poconos. These changes are still felt today, with land use playing a significant role in shaping the region's climate and ecosystem resilience. These processes amplify climate changes in our region, leading to shifts in temperature, precipitation in patterns, and even local ecosystems. Human influences on climate in the Poconos. Historically, the Poconos region has seen significant land use changes due to coal mining. While mining activities have decreased, their environmental impact remains. Abandoned mines release methane, a potent greenhouse gas, contributing to the climate warming. Additionally, urbanization in the area like Stroudsburg or East Stroudsburg has led to more vehicle emissions and natural influences on climate in the Poconos. Climate change is also influencing natural systems here in the Poconos. We've seen a rise in extreme weather events, longer droughts in some years, followed by intensified rainfall and even floods. These events not only affect water availability, but also increase wildfire risk. Forests in our region, already stressed by pest and disease, face higher tree die-offs during droughts. Dead trees release stored carbon as they decompose, contributing to warming and creating a feedback loop. Drier conditions lead to more fires, releasing even more CO2 and making it harder for the forest to recover. Climate change in the Pocono, past and future trends. The climate in the Poconos is changing both in terms of historical trends and future projections. The images are here highlight two key aspects the of these changes: extreme snowfall events in the past and the increased frequency of heavy precipitation events, as shown from climate.gov. Over the next few slides, we'll look at how temperature and snowfall have changed over time in the Poconos and what we can expect in the future based on climate projections. This graph illustrates the long-term temperature trend in Williamsport, Pennsylvania from 1895 to 2024. The upward slope of the trend line, y equals 0.0103x minus 9.7574, suggests a steady increase in temperature over time. The r squared value of 0.2574 indicates some year-to-year variation, but confirms an overall warming trend. This pattern aligns with broader temperatures, increased observation across Pennsylvania and the Northeast region. Extreme precipitation and winter warming in the Poconos. Winter in the Poconos are changing due to rising temperatures. Warmer days have less cold nights. This not only impacts ecosystems but also affects local winter tourism, as ski resorts may experience shorter and less productive seasons. The graph highlight how extreme precipitation in the winter temperatures have changed in the Poconos from 1900 to 2020. We've seen an increase in 2 inches plus precipitation events, meaning heavier rainfalls are becoming more frequent. Very cold nights have also been below average since 1990s, pointing to a warmer winters. In recent years, specifically between 2015 and 2020, we saw record high precipitation and extreme rainfall events, underscoring the growing impact of climate change on local weather patterns. Future climate projections for the Poconos. Looking ahead, Pennsylvania expected to warm by 1.7 degrees to 2.8 degrees Celsius. That would be 3 to 5 degrees Fahrenheit by the year 2050, bringing hotter summers and milder winters. Additionally, the number of extreme heat days is expected to rise, impacting health, infrastructure, and ecosystems. The trend of more extreme rainfall events will also continue, increasing the risk of flash floods and soil erosion in the Poconos. These changes highlight the importance of preparing for a warmer, wetter future. How climate change is impacting the Poconos ecosystem. This image, published in the Pocono Record 2021, shows flooding at Minsky Park, showing a frequent flash flooding that is occurring in the Pocono Mountains region. Flash floods erode riverbanks and disrupt aquatic ecosystems, impacting the habitats of species that rely on stable water sources. This directly affects the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, which may see more displaced or injured animals due to habitat loss. Similarly, the warmer winters mean that some wildlife at the rehabilitation center, such as hibernating mammals or cold adapted birds, may struggle to survive in changing seasonal conditions. This shift requires the rehabilitation centers to readjust their strategies to ensure animals are prepared for altered environments before their release. The warmer winters are already impacting one of the region's biggest industrious winter tourisms. As seen in the photograph published in the Morning Call of 2023, to the right, ski slopes are seeing less snow, leading to shorter seasons and reduced visitor numbers. If winter temperatures continue rising, ski resorts may face financial challenges affecting local businesses that rely on tourism. What's next for the Poconos environment? As forest composition shift, species like the eastern hemlock, which provides shelter for many native animals, may decline. This could result in fewer suitable release sites for rehabilitated wildlife. Additionally, drier late summers will reduce food and water sources for many animals, leading to higher intake rates at the rehabilitation center as more wildlife struggle to find resources. The Pocono Environmental Educational Center may also have to adjust its conservation efforts to focus on restoring water sources and managing climate driven habitat changes. How climate changes affecting Poconos communities. Frequent flooding can damage roads and trails near the Pocono Environmental Education Center, making access difficult for visitors and students and researchers. This could limit education programs and disrupt conservation efforts. Additionally, as warmer temperatures extend tick season, PEEC staff, volunteers, and hikers face higher risk of Lyme disease exposure. This may require increased education efforts on tick prevention and safety for visitors. Economic and social changes ahead. As winters become less predictable, the Pocono Environmental Educational Center may have to revise its winter programming. Activities that rely on snow, such as winter ecology hikes and wildlife tracking, may no longer be viable, leading to fewer visitors and revenue loss. At the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, higher temperatures in the summer and colder spikes in the winter mean higher energy costs for more climate control. More air conditioning in the summer and supplemental heating in the winter will strain financial resources, making it harder to care for reduce rescued animals. Funding and donation will become even more crucial to sustain operations. Climate change mitigation in the Poconos, ongoing potential climate mitigation efforts. The Pocono region is working on mitigation strategies to reduce climate change impacts. One key effort is forest conservation, aiming to protect 10,000 acres of land in the Pocono Kintari region to improve carbon sequestration and maintain water quality. Additionally, new legislation introduced at the federal level proposes policies to safeguard natural resources like the Delaware River from climate related threats, ensuring long term strategy for ecosystems. Climate change adaptation in the Poconos, building resilience, adaptation efforts in the Poconos. Beyond mitigation, the Pocono community is also adapting to climate change. Monroe County has developed a hazard mitigation plan outlining specific projects to reduce flooding risk and improve infrastructure resilience against extreme weather events. Additionally, Penn State Extension is providing educational programs on forest management strategies that help landowners adapt to changing climate conditions, ensuring our forest remains resilient despite shifting temperatures and precipitation patterns. Summary and key takeaways. In summary, the Poconos is addressing climate change through both mitigation and adaptation efforts, conservation projects, policy initiatives, and improved infrastructure resilience are helping reduce risk and safeguard forest, wildlife, and communities. Moving forward, continued collaboration between government agencies, conservation groups, and local residents will be essential to protecting the region from further climate related challenges. Our final slide here, we have the references used in recording this presentation today. Thank you for joining me.